Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the All British Motocross Podcast with myself, Ben Rumbold, on the Dirt Hub Network with Dirt Hub founder and owner Paul Ooten. Looking forward to a great weekend of racing. We've got Easter is upon us, so burn off all the Easter eggs. Good Friday coming up, Mike Brown Memorial, Huck Cup, fantastic meeting up ahead of us this weekend. And then, of course, the British Championship round number 2 from Preston Docks on Easter Sunday. And even if you fancy a bit more action, there's Easter Monday over at Tollington, the last race of that lovely old circuit. So, Paul, big weekend of action ahead of us. I know you're feeling rough. I hope you get on the old Lemsip and can join us at the Huck Cup because it promises to be a real good one.
It's a huge weekend, loads going on. Also, I'll give the British Sidecar Cross and British Quad Cross a shout out as well. So they're running this weekend. So yeah, plenty on. Super excited. If I can manage it, I'm feeling like shit. But you know what? We have got loads on. The Huck Cup is always my favourite meeting of the year. That and the Patch Quick. You know, I'm a West Country. I love midweek motocross, mate. I love it. Hence Rocket Till Sundown.
Indeed.
A little blast from the past, but yeah, no, really looking forward to good Friday, mate. The Huck Cup entry list is really good as well. So we've got quite a few former champs in there. Then Conrad Muse is in there. The reigning champ Tommy Searle's in there. Man of the moment Jamie Keith's in there. Plenty. Taylor Hamill's always really good at Marshfield as well. Like the list goes on and on. So really excited to start Easter weekend with that one. You've also got the Jude Morris Foundation Trophy as well, Celebration Trophy, I think that is. Then So you've got I know Charlie Richmond has dropped down to that one because he's obviously only young enough, but he's got Hayden Stat up against him. That could be a little old rivalry rekindled there. We've seen Hayden get some good EMX 125 points in Switzerland. And we obviously saw Charlie Richmond have a great pro debut at Hawkston as well, so that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be real good days of racing. You've got 7 different classes with 2 races each. Pretty stacked. It starts with that Jude Morris Celebration Trophy, 13 to 17-year-olds. So Charlie is just about young enough to pop down. I know he likes Marshfield. I've seen him around there before. Very quick local territory for him as well. So yeah, he's going to be tough to beat. But yeah, Hayden is on a bit of a roll. He was very good in Switzerland, and it'll be good to see him carry that through. Of course, it's not really any sort of preparation at all for Preston Docks because we're talking about a hard-packed grassland circuit at Marshfield compared to the softer going we've got right on the riverside there up at the docks. So yeah, from that side, it's going to be tricky to see. But yeah, you've got some good old friends there. Bradley Wheeler's coming out on a 252-stroke Yamaha. I've just seen that online, so good to see Bradley getting stuck in there. You got some of the mechanics going out for the rides as well. Ben Franklin and Conrad's mechanic Luke Humphreys is riding. Jamie Scoose, who is kind of family. He's with my third cousin. What's removed is his missus. It's quite a weird one, but yeah. So Jamie out there, number 600. Pretty good to see him ride as well. So really looking forward to a good lineup. And some of them are riding a few more. I've just noticed Charlie Putnam's lined up in the Evo race as well. Both Putnams are riding. Ben Putnam as well. So that's going to be really cool. But there's some serious old faces going to be out there, and it's such a lovely event anyway. All for charity, of course, and there'll be an auction at the end of the day. So my first time on the microphone there, I really can't wait for it because the whole buzz. I love that place, and I've ridden it before. I actually had this is a little woohoo. I did this moment. I actually did win a race there in this meeting in 1997. I won an expert moto. I won the middle moto of 3 races.
While you were there, I was probably 2 fields over riding the grass track because we used to have grass track on the top there, and you could walk over to have a look at each one. But yeah, so yeah, I was getting absolute blasted with rocks. Like riding grass track is not that much fun there. The track was absolutely exceptional in terms of the shape and how smooth it was. But yeah, you want to make the start there, that's for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of rocks, of course, nice little seamless tie-in here, of course, to the issues from Switzerland. So I mean, have you ever seen so many chains come off in one race? I mean, just crazy stuff.
It was. It's made it interesting though, isn't it? Like not that I wish a chain malfunction for anybody, but yeah, it was just I just love the drama of it all, to be honest. But I did
Yeah,
feel sorry for Mattis Valland, to be fair, because I felt he could
yeah,
have won that one. Not that I don't feel sorry for Coonan or Herlings, but it's made it interesting for them to claw it back in. But I thought Mattis was possibly going to get that moto.
yeah. I think Valan was well and truly on his way, and I got a feeling with Valan that if once he wins one, there'll be a hatful on the way. I think he's very much a confidence rider, and if he can get one early enough, he'll be a championship contender as well. Of course, sadly, McLellan had a big crash, and that's McLellan's weak point is the starts. And yeah, you saw he got second on the quali race with that beautiful red plate on the Triumph, which was great to see. Really, really nice. And then yeah, all of a sudden he's on the floor in the second race. So a real shame for him, down to fourth in the championship now. But he can turn it around, especially with I think is his best circuit, Sardinia, to come. So he's had podiums there, two in the past, and I think he's the favourite for the win this weekend at the next GP. But we're here to talk about the British, so yeah, let's say looking forward to the Huck Cup, and then Preston Docks. We've got a GP visitor, hopefully with chain fully reattached, Mr. Jeffrey Herlings.
Oh yeah, in this, you know what? I've just written the preview actually, and yeah, how exciting! I've basically put is that the British Championship is a different beast to when Jeffrey was here last, because obviously he had Conrad against him, but now he's also got Ben Watson and Aurel Oliver in there as well. So it's not quite as simple. We also know that Conrad is a wounded animal. He was admittedly rusty at Hawkston, um, but he was, yeah, you just get that feeling that he was just not happy. And he rode in the British Masters at the weekend, and some of the lap times he was putting down and the gaps that he was pulling, I just get a feeling he's just royally pissed off with that first. It's not what Conrad's used to. He's used to, certainly in the UK, he's used to, even if he's not right there, even if he doesn't win, he expects to be in with the shout of winning, whoever it is. For him to be tailed off as far back as he was at Hawkston, he is not a happy guy. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I think, he'll be looking to warm up on Good Friday with a couple of good motos at Marshfield, which we know he's superb round. And then I think he's got his eyes on toppling Herlings at Preston Docks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, like I say, he dominated there at the Blues Tires British Masters on at Fat Cats, which is similar sort of ground to what we're going to see at Preston Docks. So yeah, like I say, I think with the warm up at Marshfield, which again, it's nowhere near the same terrain as Preston Docks. It'd be interesting because obviously most of his main British Championship rivals aren't going. There was a rumor that Jeffrey was very close to being signed for that race. That was yeah, that was something that I heard at the weekend that yeah, it wasn't far off getting the bullet at the Mike Brown Memorial. So hope they might even be able to make that work in the future. That'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, either way, yeah, to see Jeffrey there is going to be well worth it. He is up to speed on that Honda. The biggest problem for Jeffrey is the big number 5 KTM, I think, moving forward. But yeah, for sure, against the British, like you say, Conrad and Jeffrey had some classic races there before, and it's now a much more it's much more than just Conrad, I think, in terms of the opposition. I mean, he tends to blow them away at like Grand Prix level, but you got to remember Ben Watson was eighth in Spain, which was a similar sort of terrain to Preston Docks as well. He doesn't like being called the Sandman. We found that out at the weekend, but he does like sand. He is good in there. And yeah, he's going to be a force. And Oriol Oliver, with the sort of starts he got in Spain when he whole shot and led for a few laps, we got some nice shots on behind the gate with his mother, who was like literally in tears, giving him a big hug after the race. She was so worked up about that whole shot and leading. So nice kid Oriol, and yeah, he's got something for everybody up there as well. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be as simple as a Herlings walk away. He is getting better starts on that Honda. I think it's fair to say. The KTM's not a bad bike, but he does seem to get better starts on this Honda, and yeah, that could be that could be the deciding of all of it.
Yeah, and Ben Watson, round one winner.
Yep.
But like you said, fantastic first moto in Spain. Like proper good. Like coming through as well. Like what was he, about 15th at one point to come up
Yeah, and
to
he
eighth?
came through from a first corner, like he got tangled in the same first corner crash that Jeffrey was in the qualifying race, and came right through the pack as well. So he's done really well. He was ninth in the qualifying race after being right at the back, and yeah, came through and had that good start. Got toppled out of the second race because he collided with Jeffrey actually coming out the gate in the second race in Spain. So that kind of ruined his weekend otherwise. But yeah, in Switzerland, I don't think that's his sort of going. I just he struggled with starts, and around there it was a tricky one. I think some riders rise, some riders will battle through and say, okay, this is a horrible track, it's horrible conditions, and on we go. Other riders just simply can't raise their game because it just feels so um, such a titchy track, such a small affair, and like it doesn't feel like a big occasion there. And I think some riders like to rise to the occasion, and yeah, that Swiss track isn't really the one for that. But Preston Docks, I think, with a good crowd, should be, and yeah, can't wait for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ram there as well. So yeah, so like you said, that's four really good riders there. That either one of those four, if they come away with the win, you wouldn't be surprised, would you? You may be surprised that they put one over Jeffrey, but you wouldn't sort of be surprised if said, oh, Jeffrey come off in that one and he got the win. So yeah, those four I think are the main four um in contention for the win. I would like someone to beat Jeffrey in one race. I'd love it to happen. To be honest, for the championship, I really do hope that Conrad does, because I think it would set it alive then. And then I think, Ben and Oriel also know, yeah, Conrad's going to be no pushover here. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's my hope. A couple of other riders. So the next batch of riders, which again you couldn't put past. I wouldn't say that they're going to win, but you wouldn't put past a podium for Adam Sterry on a good day. I think he went 2-2 last year there. So Adam Sterry had a tough really start to the year, to be fair. Especially after its great start in the first motor at Hawkston, I thought it was going to be the start of a really big year, but not quite happening so far for him. Josh Gilbert and the Apico Honda team had an absolute mare at Hawkston, so they're be looking to put that behind. And again, looking at the results from last year, it wasn't a good round at Preston Docks for Josh either.
no, I mean, you have got that thing where he's a very skilled and talented sand rider, but then there are so many others who are of the same level or even higher. So yeah, for Josh, I think yeah, the key thing for Josh is get out the gate, get out with them, get out of trouble, and then yeah, you've got a chance, I think, at a podium, and I think that's what Gilbert should be aiming for this weekend. I think he has podium potential, but it's entirely, I think, start dependent. He's never going to give up and all the rest of it. So if he doesn't get a good start, it will be entertaining. He'll push through the pack. But if you're talking about podium potential, I think if Gilbert gets out the gate, then you've got a real chance of that. But that's going to be the key thing for him, I believe, because yeah, it's just so stacked otherwise. So you're not going to fight through if you've given them an advantage at the start.
One rider who was making good starts for Hawkston, edging ever closer to that podium. And if he could do it at Preston Docks with this top four, as we said then, is Taylor Hamill. Now, Taylor was really impressive at Hawkston. He will be good to watch at the Huck Cup as well. Just yeah, pretty much, boldly stated, I'm a working guy now, pretty much stand the bike. Yeah, sort of doing it for the underdogs in some respects is Taylor. But yeah, I Taylor's steadily got better on that 450, and he did look the real deal at Hawkston. And yeah, a podium has got to be knocking for Taylor this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about my top five. I can't squeeze them all in. I'm going to have to disappoint somebody who doesn't get vocal about these podcasts at the track. Who just trying to think who doesn't have a go at me for not naming them. That might be the deciding factor. We'll see how it goes.
He's trying to get an easy life.
No, I know Stereo's mechanic is always giving me like SH1T for it, and yeah, There we go. But yeah, you really can't pick him. But like you say, I think Taylor Hamill has had a fantastic ride at Hawkstone, surprised us all. We shouldn't have been so surprised, but we were a third and a fourth, great result, just off the podium on a tie break. And like you say, working man, and he's just getting stuck into his racing in the weekends, and yeah, it seems to be working for him. So that's pretty sweet. And then, like I say, the rest of the group chasing. You've got Tristan Purden, who was solid at Hawkstone, sixth overall. He likes a bit of sand, as we know, and should be strong there. Didn't get the chance last year because he was injured, I believe. And then, or did he? I might get that wrong. And then, then you got the likes of Brad Todd, Ben Edwards, Jamie Carpenter, and Bobby Bruce just behind them to round out the top 10 in the championship. There's a lot of serious talent in this MX1 class, and it's going to be exciting all the way through the pack.
Yeah, and one rider I think I've got my eye on is the Canadian Tanner Ward, because Hawkstone would have been a baptism of fire, welcome to British motocross type thing. Preston Docks, if the sun comes out, it could be a little bit kinder, and we could see, because he didn't do bad in this second race, we could see potentially him sort of like he's come to a good pedigree. Obviously, he was second in Canadian Championship, wasn't he? So, he could be one to watch out for. In there, I'd watch also out for Jamie Carpenter. I've got a feeling that Jamie's riding himself back into fitness, and if he can get some good starts, I could see a big result from him as well.
Yeah, the sort of tough circuit there where Jamie tends to thrive. People when the occasional rider tends to flake, then Jamie won't. And he could well be in for a good one. Certainly top 10 is not beyond him. Top 5 even might be a push, but he might well have a chance of it. And then you got Bobby Bruce. I mean, not a great start at Hawkstone, must be honest. But you never know with Bobby. He could produce a whole shot and hide, or be outside the top 10. It could be either way. But kid's still got a lot of talent, and could be very strong. So we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. And another ride to watch then. Freddie Bartlett, I did a little interview with Freddie, 16 years of age on a 450 and serious pace as well. He's loving it on that 450. Absolutely loving it. So he's 16. He's like, I feel good on it. I feel fast. Just keep riding it, really. I don't have to do much to the bike. Can't really afford to compete on an MX2. He said it's a second-hand bike, so he's doing it. But fair play to him, second-hand bike to pull the lap times he was at Hawkstone in amongst the older, more experienced guys. That is impressive.
Yeah, 2/14 at Hawkstone Park, so solid consistency. Same result each motor. Not many could say that, and he had Bobby Bruce behind him in race one. So this is impressive stuff. And like you say, 16 years old, but he's a tall, strong kid. He's only going to get stronger, and I think this could be a really promising rider for the future because teenage talent. There's no pressure on him. I believe in MX1. Like whatever he gets is a bonus. And from that side, that's a great way to go racing. So I think Freddie is seriously one to watch. 13th in the championship right now, and I don't think he's going to go backwards.
Yeah, no, definitely exciting to see him. Martin Barr's in there, mate. The retired Martin Barr. That's what retirement looks like. He's coming out for it at Preston Docks. You can't keep him down, can you?
No, full arena cross season. Although, oh no, he got hurt before Belfast. But race the arena cross, and then his retirement for the British Championship lasts one round, so he's back for round two. But can't leave it alone. Know the feeling. I think many of us know the feeling there. But great to see him. He's out on a Husky. A brand he knows well, and he's. I think Martin Barr could be top 10 still, because he's just that sort that will keep grinding away, especially if it gets wet and brutal at Preston.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Martin out there. Anybody else on your watch list there before we hit into predictions, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see how Jaden Ashwell gets on with the AJP Racing Team. He went to Spain and rode there. I didn't see him in Switzerland, so maybe he decided against it. Jaden has got ambitions to run a lot of MXGPs this year, including the South African round, because that's pretty much the part of the world where he's from. So I'll be interested to see what he can do. I think he's a decent sand rider, and I think good points are available. So it's and I eyes keep coming back to Ben Edwards on the list as well. So for the Absolute Motocross KTM team, I do think that Ben has got a decent chance of a top 10 or even top 7 or 6. We'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, going to be a cracking one. And yeah, predictions. God knows. As always with predictions, sorry to anybody who we leave out. We can only pick 5. Motocross, anything can happen. We all know. So yeah, disclaimers are put down right there.
I feel a lot better about MX1 predictions than I do about MX2. I know that. I was just going to mention, just Eddie J. Wade is someone in there. I've got a feeling there will be, I'm not sure when, but there will be a good result coming from him at some point. And Bayless Utin, who rode really well at Hawkston, I'll be interested to see if he could back that up. So that's my last 2 there before we do it. Who's going first on predictions then? Are you going first or second?
What are we going, 5th to 1st?
Yeah.
Okay. It's tough. Okay, yeah, I'll go first. Yeah.
Okay.
Who am I leaving out? Oh no, I can't leave him out. All right, I'm going to leave him out. Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay.
Go for it. You do it.
5th, Taylor Hamill.
Okay. Well, I actually have him 5th as well.
Oh. Okay. 4th, Oriol Oliver.
Okay. I've gone Adam Sterry. Adam Sterry was good out there last year.
Yeah, fair shot. 3rd, Ben Watson.
I've got 3rd, Ben Watson.
Oh. 2nd,
Yeah.
number 84.
Oh, really? Wow, okay.
This is a push because I need to make points.
Okay.
Well, we're 1 point apart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah. And you're
That's
putting
bold. That's bold. You don't need, it's like early in the season, but fair play. That's bold. I've gone Conrad Muse 2nd.
Okay. I'm going to cheer for the West Country boy. 2-1.
Wow.
2-1 for Conrad.
Fair
That's what
play.
it'll be.
I really hope so. I've got a feeling it might go the other way.
Yeah.
I might
Yeah.
win the first one, and then Herlings wins the second one.
Yeah.
And
That
then,
could be the way it goes, like it did before. But yeah, I don't know. I've got to go for it. I've got to back my West Country boy.
But we got some interesting riders, like you said, that didn't make the top 5. I haven't got Oriel in there.
No, that's who I couldn't leave out. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm either leaving out Sterry or Oliver.
Yeah.
I will probably regret it, especially when I speak to his mechanic. I'll regret it, so I might just avoid the Chambers KTM. Or maybe I'll vote for their other rider in the other class.
Do you know who we both haven't put in? We haven't put Josh Gilbert in there, which is that pained me to do that. But
yeah, I'm really sorry, Josh.
Just because it's based on his result last year. He didn't have a great result there last year. And obviously it's been a tough start to the year. But, I'm sure he's going to come good, especially when we get to Landry.
Yeah, and I can't forget to mention trainer Tom as well, Tom Grimshaw. He's I think he's got good top 10 potential, trying to bounce back from Hawkstone. He's possibly riding all 3 days over Easter because he's got Marshfield, Preston Docks, and then racing at Toddington on the Monday because it's on his doorstep. So yeah, fair play to Tom for doing those 3 races, and yeah, fair play to Tom for soldiering on in what's a tough time right now. But yeah, pretty sweet to see Tom out there.
Cool. Wow. There we go. That's MX1. Mate, MX2. Jesus.
I mean,
it makes my head hurt, MX2.
Roll the dice. I'm getting to the point now. I'm almost going to resort to making a little lotto style bowl here to try and pick out some names for the top 5 because, yeah, who can call it? I mean, crazy entry list. A good entry list. I think I see 52 names on the list.
Yeah, so I reckon there could be more coming for that because they haven't put the schedule out. So I think they're trying to get a few more in, and they're waiting to put the schedule out because, to see whether they're going to do an LCQ or not.
Yeah, I think at the moment that is up in the air. 52. So you're going to take, if you take 36, I think was what they took from or did they take 32? I think they took 32 and then had a top 8 qualifiers in Hawkstone. So yeah, either way, I think you're gonna have an LCQ with numbers in the teens, so that still is kind of worth it. But yeah, either way, at the top, which is where we're kind of looking, yeah, it's all over the place, isn't it?
You know
I
what?
mean,
What do we say? There's 11 or 12 riders that you couldn't put past getting on the box.
yeah,
And we
1,000%.
said there'd be 10 different riders will make the podium at some point over the 8 rounds this year. And I think that could be more than that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to really go in championship order. I think that's just to be fair to everybody involved. So, Gabriel SS24 KTM, I've got Gian doing some with the red plate. Seen some photos of that already, so they're good to go. And yeah, Gian hasn't had a great time in EMX. Just struggled with the starts, and if you struggle with the starts in EMX, then you're going to get beaten up in the mid pack. So that hasn't been great for him. But I think with the red plate, he'll feel like the boss. And I think Guillem's a confidence rider. So I think from that side of it, this is his position here now with a 4-1. He won the most recent race at Hawkstone. I think he's got a real good chance of bashing it around the sand, which is his home turf, what he grew up in. So yeah, I think got every chance of Guillem defending and even extending that championship lead.
Yeah, no, Gian is, like I said, he's definite got the minerals for the British Championship. But there's so many riders here that, you can't, so many riders are going to have good results and bad results, as we saw at Hawkston. And that's where I think, two solid motos and the rider that did two solid motors at Hawkston and has been pretty good at putting two solid motors together, since he's moved up to MX2 is Charlie Heyman. And last year, two solid motors, 2 seconds at Preston Docks last year. And yeah, I think Charlie's he's just every round. I think he's just getting that slightly bit better, slightly bit more confident, and yeah, I think it's starting to really show. And yeah, if all the results are up and down, which I think they will be all year, Charlie is going to be the one that's going to really benefit from that. And he did that last year, didn't he?
Yeah, no, this is it. And yeah, and very much, I mean, that has been the pattern. I mean, if you look at the timings there, Doonson won with a 4-1 at Hawkstone. Rizzy was third overall with 2 fifth places. Musto went 15-2 for fourth overall. Ollie Colmer second and then no score. Joe Brooks sixth and then no score. Even Tommy Searle went 7-11 in the motos, and Jamie Keith went first and then a no score. So it's that topsy-turvy sort of setup. Josh Vale, fifth overall with an 11th and a fourth. It's just it's all over the place. And Josh Vale is one on form as well. So yeah, like you say, it is that consistency, and that so far has been the kind of signature of Charlie Heyman over the last couple of years. So, getting to second in the championship with no race wins in 2025 is a prime example of exactly a rider who just consistently is there. So I would love to see Charlie take a race win. I think it's so overdue now. It would be so cool to see him get a race win for that SC Sport Home Susquehanna team. And yeah, fingers crossed for him. I think it'll be, and it's more in his part of the world as well. It's more, it's closer to home, so that might also benefit him. But yeah, he would have done absolutely tons of laps around the docks, and yeah, I think it'd be great to see him make those pay for a victory. But
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of competition.
there is a lot of competition, and that's the big thing. Just looking down at, I've lost my screen here, but just looking down at, like you said, at the championship standings and things like that. There's so many riders there that can do it, that can get good results. Like I said, we haven't seen the best of Tommy Searle. Is he gonna bounce back? A big one, that we saw, and we were talking about this. We are talking about previous before we come on air about Conrad Mewes obviously being a bit perturbed by his third position, which is just Conrad, but a rider that really needs to come back and use what has happened at the weekend to spur him on to big things is Billy Askew, because Billy's not had a good year. He's had one standout great moto, but Billy Askew didn't qualify in Switzerland. And this is something he really needs to bounce back and do something pretty damn spectacular this weekend for his own confidence, as well as his championship hopes, because, he really should be a title contender.
Yeah, I mean, the rider that was on the verge of getting the red plate here last year, when we got to Preston Docks, and it all fell apart, even though his teammate was out of the day because of injury. Things didn't go Billy Askew's way, and it was the start of a bit of a decline for him. And yeah, what can you say about Switzerland? I mean, I was there with the team because we were trying something with MXGP, which I can't talk about. And if any photos come up, I deny all knowledge. But yeah, Billy was helping us out there, and I don't think it was to the extent where he got distracted by it, because it wasn't a major problem. It was all agreed to very quickly. But I think I don't know whether it was overconfidence or something like that, where he just didn't fathom that a non-qualification was possible. But you had 35 riders in each group. It was so heavily stacked in that EMX 250 class. So only the top 20 qualified, and he was there or thereabouts, and maybe half a second back from qualifying. But it was a tight circuit. So yeah, very, very tricky. Fingers crossed that he does bounce back from it and gets things going for sure. There would have been lots of discussion afterwards. I saw his trainer Justin Morris, obviously not a happy man. But yeah, they have some work to do, because yeah, he's got no points on the board in the British either. He had two crashes in at Hawkstone that's cost him any chance of scoring. Didn't finish. So yeah, what can you say? It can only go up from here. He's got to remember that with a good start, he was third in that first EMX 250 race in Spain, like momentarily third in the championship there. So, that's what he's capable of. And Spain and Preston Docks, that Spanish track in Almonte was very, very similar going. And Billy is good in the sand, and this is what he's trained in over laps and laps and laps at this track at Fat Cats. So yeah, for me, Askew could well be the danger man. And I'm sure that it's exactly what that team and the people around him would need, is to see this sort of performance from Billy. So again, as with all young British riders, we hope it comes, because yeah, he is a talent. There's no doubt about it. He's got the ability, and now it's a case of dealing with what's happened and bouncing back. And yeah, I hope for everybody involved. His dad's a great guy. We talk well, and I just I hope for all of them that they can pull things through, because yeah, it would be so good for everybody there.
Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it. Like I've flip-flopped over away from the championship. So sorry about that.
You've gone completely away. I thought we were going to mention Askew last.
I know, but it was just in my mind. It was just there.
Yeah, no, and it is. Everybody was a bit shocked by that, I think. So hopefully it's a blip, it's a one-off, it's something he'll learn from, because qualifying is its own art, especially at the EMX level. So yeah, this time, he's got the British format. He knows that, like, backwards, inside out. 10 minutes free practice, 15 minutes qualifying, and then on you go. So yeah, fingers crossed but he comes back well. But yeah, should we go to the next few in the championship then?
Yeah, go for it.
Joel Rizzi, third in the series. Great to see for that 772 ride Kawasaki team. First appearance for them, and third overall with 2/5. He wasn't too happy actually with his riding and his results, which is good. If you score a result like that on your bad days, that's the old saying, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully he's got more in the tank. He's a good sand rider. For me, Preston should be a good meeting for him. He had the championship pressure there a couple of years ago, and it didn't go his way. But hopefully he's forgotten that, and he'll just have a good ride, because I think he's certainly got the potential to be back up there again. Any thoughts on Joel, or should we go straight to the next few?
Yeah, Joel, like I said, my only worry is that some of the younger riders I think Joel will continue to do that. He might well get on the podium again with a couple of consistent rides, because in a slightly similar way to Charlie, I think Joel will be consistent all the way through. Not maybe quite at the sharp end of Charlie, but because I think we've got riders like Musto and Brooks and Askew, they have got such strong pace, but sometimes with that pace comes sort of incident, and if they don't make a start and stuff like that. So I think Joel will be there or thereabouts Whether or not he can get another podium, I don't know. But I think he will be hovering around, the fourth, fifth, sixth position. But I just think some of these younger riders that we're going to mention, Ben Musto coming up next, I think some of these riders just got a little bit more like explosive pace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and put some of these riders together because there's so many we're gonna run out of time.
Yeah.
So, fourth, fifth, and sixth in the championship. Let's batch them all together. So Ben Musto, let's give the teams a shout out. ASA United Gas, Josh Vale for Phoenix Tools Fantic, and Charlie Richmond, of course, for the True 7 Honda squad. So these are all young riders in their first or second year. They're fourth, fifth, and sixth in the series because they put together a couple of decent races. Ben Musto, a great second at Hawkstone, coming off a shoulder injury that we questioned about where he was going to be. And of course, as always, when we questioned them, they just bounce back and say, stuff you, and got the great result. So good for Ben. He's in the hunt. 15 points back from Dunson is not beyond achievable. So he's there and in a good spot. Equal as well with Josh Vale on points, who went 11-4, like I said. Fourth, by far his best race by about 3 results. I think by about 3 positions. I think his previous best was 7th. So Josh has got serious pace. He rode well at the bridge sorry, I'll get this right in a minute. He rode well at the Plews Tyres Masters. We've been saying the other tyre brand for so long. So I know Mr. Plews, and I apologise, Mr. Plews, for falling back on old habits. But yeah, the Plews Tyres British Masters. Josh Vale had a good ride there. So fifth for him in the championship. He's got a good chance. And in fact, also equal on the same number of points is Charlie Richmond. I should have stitched that all together and said they've all got 28 points at the start, but I've just realised looking at it now. But Charlie Richmond on his debut, okay, everybody talks about the other debutant, but still, Charlie Richmond had a good solid day. 8th and 6th, 6th in the series, equal 4th really. And Charlie Richmond is having a really good debut year, and yeah, we'll see how it goes and see if it continues.
Okay, so moving onwards. I was going to say swiftly, but we've lingered on quite a bit. But we're on 7th, 8th, and 9th. This is quite nice here, going by numbers. I'm like a a whirlwind. I just go from there. But yeah, let's go structure. John Adamson,
Yes.
2-stroke king, always entertaining, never gives up. On the Phoenix Tools Fantic Racing Machine. John, he's got a podium in his locker for
I think
sure.
so.
Not sure
Yeah.
where it's going to come. Might be Duns. That would be nice for him. But certainly always going to be in the thick of it. Whatever, whatever track it is, he is going to be at the thick of it. It's I think MX2 is a bit of him. Do you know what I mean? Like MX1 is steady, isn't it? He's not steady. He likes that hustle and bustle. I think it's a bit of him, that.
Yeah, the chaos and the carnage, as he says, it seems to follow him, or does he make it? I don't know, but great fit for that team as well. I think I think it's no coincidence that Josh Vale is suddenly feeling a bit better about life. I think that John will just help sort of just lighten the mood there. I think and get stuck into things. I'm not saying it's not a bad environment by any means, but just John will always just improve the mood there, and I think that he's helping that team move forward, and it's great to see. And on the 2-stroke, yeah, I mean in the stand, this is where the 2-stroke can pay off because sliding out is not an issue. John's good in the stand anyway. Most Scottish riders are. And he's able to get stuck into that. So 9-7 at Hawkstone, he could get even higher than that. I think now that he's kind of, like you say, getting used to that hustle and bustle because it is different to MX1. There's no doubt about it. But then 8th in the championship. I mean, a stunning story from Hawkstone. Probably the image of the whole weekend was Jamie's first win. Jamie Keith there, and yeah, I mean, I can't even say his team name. I think it's help from Goswell Limited. To put that Honda on the board and to get the whole shot and clear off in his first MX2 professional race is pretty intense. So great stuff. Obviously had issues in the second race and couldn't go any further. And through no fault of his own. So yeah, I think, and especially here where he is really fast at Preston Docks, I think that's a bit of Jamie, and I would not be surprised to see the same again. Even a 1-1 is entirely possible for Jamie Keith. So who knows? Now people know he can do it, and it's how he responds to that as well is going to be another interesting result from the weekend.
You know
However
what
which
is
way.
interesting about Jamie? So he's ridden the Scottish Championship. He rid the Bridgestone.
The
And again, I've
Blues
just
Tires
said it.
Masters.
Josh, Blues Tyres. We'll give Blues. I'm going to say Blues about 10 times now. So Blues Tyres, Josh. I've just said it again. The Blues Tyres British Masters. Jamie did ride in that one. Did all right. But I think he is a big occasion rider. I just get that vibe from him. Like,
Yeah.
maybe some of these other championships he's not all in. But I think the British Championship he is. He's already said that Preston Docks is his track. He's already said that he knows that track. He said, I think I did an interview with him, and he said he knows this track better than anybody else. He's also said that he's really good mates with Charlie Richmond, who has had some really good rides already this year. He said that everybody should be watching out for him and Charlie this year, and it's nice. He has got that. Do you know what? I watched his vlog, and at the start of the vlog, he was all quite sheepish and stuff like that. By the end of it, he's like buzzing, and yeah, he's got. You know what? We're gonna get some great quotes from him this year, which I really like. And because there is that underlying confidence there, and like you said, I just feel he's going there to go 1-1. I really do think there's a bit of confidence there, and he knows that track. I just get a feeling he really wants it, and I think he feels he can do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about a 1-1. I mean, he was very worried before Hawkstone, and obviously he did react well. So yeah, a 1-1. I think other riders maybe will have something to say. I mean, it's
I'm
clear
not
that.
saying he's gonna, but I think he in his head,
Oh
I
yeah, for
think
sure.
he thinks he's gonna get it.
For sure it will be in his sights. And yeah, I think well, I just can't wait to see what happens. I think that it could go either way. I mean, just to take it back to a rider we've already mentioned, obviously Preston Docks a few years ago there, in the 125 championship came down to the end, and Jamie suffered a blow up when he was in position to win that title, and Josh Vale won the title. Now, I don't think it's any coincidence that Josh Vale then goes and has his best result of his life so far at Hawkston Park in the second race straight after Jamie's won race one. I think that's a response from Josh, if anything else, because he would have seen Jamie win and would not have liked it. So I think that it can wake other people up as well, the fact that Jamie's in there. Yes, he's got the bit of swagger, a bit of confidence. I'm not sure how deep that is, but yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see because yeah, I think he has got that chip on his shoulder. He has got that slight attitude. He's very much a privateer, and yeah, he's good friends with Charlie, but Charlie's got the True 7 Honda backing, and Jamie has not. So yeah, where does it go? I mean, whichever way it goes, it's going to be fascinating, and as we all do here on the Dirt Hub podcast, it's something that we want to see the young British riders come through, and Jamie is one of the brightest hopes for that. I'm disappointed maybe that he's not doing EMX, or he hasn't done so far. I hope that he will go out and do some more, because I think that is the great proving ground for talent. It'll either make or break you, and maybe people don't want to be broken. That's why they don't do it. I don't know, but I think that is the way forward to do that series. But if he wins at home, it's going to come natural that he's going to go out there. So yeah, for sure, Jamie Keith is an exciting prospect, and I can't wait to see what he does. And especially, like you say, he owns that track. He's his track. Then yeah, he's going to be fired up and going to have lots of fans there. So it's going to be fantastic to see. Can't wait. And he's also going to be at Marshfield at the Huck Cup as well, I've heard. So that's going to be cool.
Yeah, no, that is going to be good to see him at that one. Ninth, Tommy Searle, ninth position,
That's
and
that's that's what happens when I predict a winner. See?
yeah, absolutely. And is this the year? Because we said last year was going to be the year when the young guns sort of overtook the old guard. So is this the year for that? And that's the big question. Is that sort of Tommy sort of? I don't know. You know what? We've counted him out so many times and been proved wrong so many times. And don't forget, he's got 24 points on the board. Last year he missed a round, so he's if you put it against the round he missed, he's 24 points better off in that respect.
Yeah.
So
And he's 24 points better off than his teammate.
He is. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's Tommy Silva, isn't it? So yeah, what do you think? What are we going to see from Tommy? Is he going to come out all guns blazing? You know, or is he just going to be is he a sort of now a fourth or fifth rider? Is he a podium rider, or can he still get wins? I don't know. That is the thing.
No, I think to my mind, and he's 19 points down. Another result like that, and you start to think championship is not going to be possible. So with that in mind, he does his blogs. He wants to be the boy. He's said that time and again. And yeah, you don't write him off, because he just has that ability to do what's necessary. And it hasn't faded with age so far. Is it going to now? That is the biggest question about Tommy Searle. So yeah, I mean, red plate's gone. He's going to have to fight very hard to get it back. But fighting very hard is what Tommy does. Jeffrey's around as well. He seems to vibe off of mixing it with Jeffrey. So that might, have a positive effect on Tommy's results, is that he feels like, trying to still show off to his old rival to prove that he's still got some of it. And I would not be surprised to see him podium this weekend. I think he'll get good starts, which is massively necessary. Yeah, I don't know about winning it, but I do think he's going to be, well, put it this way, I've not written my top 5 out yet, but the number 100 is likely to be in there.
I've written mine out, but it's got so many scribbles in it. It's all over the place, and I'm not set on it at all.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, and then 10th in the series, Liam Knight had a good score there. 29 years old, so okay, he's pushing.
Don't say it, because you said veteran last time.
I did. I mean, yeah, he's come down from MX1. He's come from MX1 to MX2. We naturally say come down. So, this is somebody who's been to MX1 and it is coming, if you like, back to MX2. But he rode damn well. I mean, 10th and 9th at Hawkstone is no mean feat. So, 10th in the championship, Liam, hopefully he has a good year. It's all good to see. And then you got the Chambers KTM boys in the 11th and 12th. Ollie Colmer, a great second in race 1 at Hawkstone, really rode well. For a time there, I thought he was going to catch Jamie at the front, but couldn't quite make it happen. But still, in the hunt, and then obviously had an issue in the second race. So that happened to a lot of people. So there's no shame in that. And he's just come off his career best Grand Prix finish. Let's not forget he's the only British rider getting the flag on the screens at the GPs. He was 16th overall, 14th in race 2. So from that side, Ollie is getting that experience as well, and is driving forward, which is great. That's what we want, a rider to get stuck in and dig in. If you like a rider like that, then you'll like Ollie Colmer. And starts can be an issue, but they weren't at Hawkstone, or at least the first race wasn't an issue. So yeah, Ollie is fully capable of a good ride, and he is again a good sandman. So yeah, really exciting to see what Ollie can do. And then of course, Glenn McCormick, the Irish Charger, still plugging away there, getting stuck in. 14th and 8th for 12th overall at Hawkstone. He can keep at that sort of level, maybe even higher.
Do you know what? I feel the Ollie's second place at Hawkstone was sort of underrated because of his second moto, and because of the fact that Jamie Keith won it. I don't think Ollie got as much credit as he deserved for his second, to be honest. And I'm glad to see that he's getting points in MX2 over the world, because it's a big undertaking for him and the team to go out there. So to get points on the board, every moto so far, 4 motos, points in every single one, which is really good. So yeah, I'd like to see Ollie get 2 really good motos this weekend. I would.
Yeah, an overall win for him went begging at Hawkstone, sadly, because a second or third in race 2 would have done the job. But
Yeah,
that's where it is.
So no, I don't think, like I said, I don't think he got that credit that he deserved from that moto, because he was good.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've got 2 young guns in there, 13th and 14th in the series. Tyler Hooley, former 125 youth champion, very quick kid, and 12-10 finishes Nothing to be super excited about, but still good sort of results. And then, yeah, Joe Brooks, the eternal question of Joe Brooks, sixth in race one after flying in practice, like quickest for sure. And then, just starts really stopped him there, sixth and nothing. So Joe Brooks could go off, could clear off and go 1-1 at the weekend. It would not be surprising at all. He's had a bit of a rough go in EMX, just got beaten up in the mid pack. That's how that series is. But again, he's shown great pace in qualifying, so the speed is definitely there, and it's now stitching two motos together. The same old task for everybody to put two races together, and hopefully Joe can do it, because I think he could be a championship contender. But after Hawkston, the pressure's on him to turn it around for this weekend.
Yeah, and didn't he have a good second motor in Switzerland? Was it the second one that was good?
Yeah, he got into the points. Quickly bring up my GP screen. Yeah, he was 12th in the end,
Yeah.
and he was running higher than that as well. He got briefly into the top 10, and then just had Katana, who's a championship contender. Really, if he gets his acting gear, just past him on the last couple of laps. So yeah, it's going to be tricky, but I think Joe's certainly 12th in the MX 250 is a good shout. That's you're starting to make progress then. So yeah, we'll see what he can do. I don't want to harp on about the two motor thing, but yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we did. You know what? In terms of speed, like I said, qualifying speed,
His speed
was that?
is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got so much pace if he can put it together, and that's
Yeah.
what we just want to see, really.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just a little mention. Obviously, we got move on to, but we will say Lewis Hall in 15th, then making his comeback. I say comeback, but he's sort of been riding Scottish and riding sort of here, there, and everywhere. But that was a good result from him. 16th in the standards, Davy Pooches. Got a funny feeling there is a result from him somewhere along the line this year. I think he will pop his head up and get a good one somewhere. Not sure
And
where.
it's for me, looking at the calendar, it's as likely at Preston Docks as anywhere else. This is probably now the heaviest sand track we've got left. Because after this you've got a bit of sand at Blackstall, you've got a bit of sand at the end of the year, and then you've got Ling. But yeah, if you're going to get a result for Davy Pooches, this would be the one where you'd say, yeah, Dutch track. Jeffrey's there, a bit of an old Dutch rival, almost, I should say, because at one point Davy was supposed to be the new Jeffrey. So that might fire him up as well. And I'm sure the absolute MXKTM team will rib him for it and drive him forward. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what Davey can do. But yeah, if there is anywhere that Pooches can be a contender, it must be Preston Docks.
Okay. Right, one more rider before we do predictions then. 17th, Callum Mitchell. The bruiser. Broken nose. Didn't stop it. He still rode the second moto. Obviously, we saw what he can do last year at the finale. So again, he's one of those riders, and we've got quite a lot of those riders. I think I've listed 11 or 12 that you wouldn't put past sticking, getting out the start and notching up a race win. So yeah, I think Callum, wasn't a great day at Hawkston, but yeah, don't put him past getting a whole shot and leading from the front in one moto this weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, another rider entirely capable. This is it's almost to the point now I'm reaching for a set of dice, just roll and.
Like, I'm hating this.
What can you do? I mean, you've got I think I've got a 12-sided dice somewhere. I might just number all the riders and roll that and see who comes out.
Oh, mate, I am so hating this.
And again, anybody who doesn't listen to the podcast and comments on our predictions, then I'm sorry. These predictions are literally, it's almost picking them out of the hat. This is how chaotic it can be. It'd be pure luck if we get any of these right.
MX2 is just, yeah. I feel you can calculate some of the other two classes a little bit, but MX2, as it proved in round one, MX2 is just like, you just cannot predict it. You cannot predict it.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to go with what I had, what I initially wrote, because otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to go with that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm at first time, so you go first now.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go fifth. I'm going to go Jamie Keith.
Okay. I see
I
that.
don't know if he's going to get a race win this time, but I think he knows the track, and I think he's going to be good, and I think he might. He'll have two good motos.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go fifth as Josh Vale.
Okay, good shout. Okay, I'm going fourth, Gian Dunson.
Ooh, that's brave. Man, it's so tough. I'm going to go for Tommy Searle.
Okay, interesting. Okay, third, I've gone Ben Musto.
Ooh,
I just
it's
yeah.
him as well. See, god damn, this is so tricky, so tough to guess. Okay, third, I'm going with Jamie Keith.
Okay, putting him right up there. Fair play. Okay, I had faith in him round one. I'm still got faith in him. Joe Brooks is second.
Ooh,
I just feel it. Like we said, if that speed can be matched with starts and just consistent laps, he's going to be able to
oh,
beat.
you mentioned starts now. I'm starting to worry about my choice. Okay, I'm going to go for this. Right, okay. This could see me sink, but I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to second as Charlie Hayman
Okay,
because I think you've got him as the winner.
I have got him as the winner. I've got Charlie Hayman as the winner. I think this is going to be his first race win.
Okay.
And do you know what? It's going to be, if there's going to be one rider I feel that might start to edge out a championship lead out of anybody, I feel it could be Charlie Hayman. I think if he gets a moto win here, I think he's really going to set his stall out, and I think he's going to take some stopping.
Yeah. No, I do understand that. Yeah, for sure. Um, I'm oh this is so tough. This is so tough. Um, I'm going to go with Ollie Colmer.
Okay,
I just can see Preston's going to be tough, hard work. You're going to need two solid races. It could be a grind. I'm not sure if a race win is going to come his way, but maybe two top threes. Um, Either way, yeah, I'm going to put Ollie Colmer as the overall winner. And I'm sorry for Gian Dunson and all the Gabriel SS 24 team. I'm not sure how Gian's going to do with that red plate on. I don't know if he's going to put too much pressure on, or if it's going to inspire him. It could go either way. I think he'll be outside the top five or the overall winner. So yeah, that's. I'll go for the gamble. I'm gonna go try and back the Brits here. You know what I mean? I like the fact that Ollie's doing the Grand Prix. I'm really pleased to see Chambers KTM putting the effort in to get Adam, Hayden, Stat, and Ollie Colmer out there at the GPs all across Europe. And it's just a vote for them, really. I must be honest. That's where I am with it. So I left Sterry out of the MX1 predictions, and I feel guilty. But yeah, I do have some thoughts that Ollie Colmer could well be the one that prevails this weekend. So there we go. I could be massively wrong, but we'll see how it goes.
do you know what? I'd love to see Ollie Colmer do it. I haven't put him in, but like, do you know what I mean? There's so many riders I haven't
Yeah,
put
I
in
mean,
there. You know,
none of us have mentioned Billy Askew, who could
no.
bounce back after the worst weekend of his life, maybe motocross life to do it all. I've left Ben Musto out for some reason, and I know he's gonna make me regret it. Um, John Adamson, we haven't really put in there. Joel
John
Rizzi,
Rizzi. Yeah.
I mean, and like I've only got one of the top three from Hawkstone in my top five. This is crazy, but this is what MX2 is like. It drives you insane. So, by all means, anyone out there, if anyone can predict the top five accurately and comes to see us at Ling, I'll give them a box of cream eggs.
There you go. Box of cream eggs.
If anyone, I will bring something for someone who predicts the top five absolutely with pinpoint accuracy. If anyone wants to do that online, I will get a
Okay.
little prize for them at
I'll
Ling.
put our prediction post up,
Yep,
and then if people comment their top fives underneath,
yep,
and if anybody gets it bob on,
yep. There'll be a little
Cream
sweetie.
eggs. I'll add something in. I don't know what I'll add, but I'll add something into it. It'd be a surprise. There you go. When you go and see Ben, there'd be a
Anybody can
surprise.
predict it, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A surprise. That's good. I like that. Okay, cool. There we go. Right end.
Right.
125s.
Yes, 125s.
I can't say 125. It's too American for me. I will always be 125. I love the way 125.
It's
Yeah,
so British.
I can't say 125. I just can't do it. Anyway, there we go. 125s.
Yeah.
What a crazy championship so far. I mean, well, it's not as crazy as MX2 actually, but yeah, we've had some really good rides from from debuts, rookies. It's been very entertaining. That's some disappointment for some fancied contenders. Again, the results were all over the place. I mean, the third place rider was there on 8-4 results from Hawkstone, so that was pretty crazy. But yeah, Drew Stock leads the championship, went 1-1 at Hawkstone, looks very impressive. He did hurt his wrist the week leading up to Switzerland. And when you consider that, he did very well to grind out a result in what was a messy Sunday second race. He really was impressive there in riders and bikes all over the track. And they had the worst of the weather the whole weekend on Sunday morning. Drew ground out a result to get some points, which was great for him. That's exactly what we want to see. So hopefully he'll have been able to heal up a little bit and can defend the red plate, because he's certainly got the ability and the bike and the backing to do it. So it's going to be, I just hope that his wrist isn't too badly hurt, because it would be a crying shame for Drew to lose this championship based on that.
Yeah, definitely. He was so good at Hawkstone. I have to say, you're just like you said, really matured as a rider. Like
Yeah.
definitely, just free. If you look back to Drew Stock at round one last year to Drew Stock at round one this year, they're light years away, aren't they? They're two different riders completely.
Yeah, I mean, this to me is a rider that can see a pro career is within his reach, and he's reaching out and getting it. So this is what I see from Drew, and he's a scrapper, he's a fighter, he's quiet. He's not a media man, but they're not. A lot of times the toughest riders aren't. So it's going to be. Well, we just hope that Drew is able to reach his potential, because I think it's quite high. So yeah, 1-1 in round one, but again he has got that wrist injury, so tricky to say whether that's going to be possible around what's going to be a very tough racetrack.
Yeah, and there is such a gaggle of young riders here. Again, like that we know, there's probably riders that we haven't seen show their true colors at all yet, but are gonna surprise us at certain rounds. It might be their local track, or the conditions prevail, or they're feeling good on the day, or they're making good starts. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like about the 125s, the fact that we do see new youngsters emerge from that.
Yeah.
One
Well,
rider.
the rest of the sorry to before you cut in there, the rest of the top five, the rest of the top six, all raced 85s last year. Which is crazy. Harley Marjak, John and Stanley Dawson, Archie Stapley, Arthur Moore, Jensen Severn, they were all on 85cc bikes. Some of them as recently ago as Western last year. So it's pretty crazy to see them all up there in the 125s. But sorry, I interrupted there. So yeah, I'll let you carry on.
No, that's a good shout. And, so yeah, going on to our second place rider, Harley Marzak, then he looked really, really good. He looked really racy, I think is the word I would use. Like he meant it. He meant business there. He looked really good. But there was some, like you said, those guys that you rattled off there from the 85s, all of those guys showed good signs. Like Arthur Moore on that TM, he looked really fast at points, good, some good starts there. So yeah, all of these will be looking to do it. And then we had the riders sort of like Alfie Geddes Green, who had that superb first race before the second race DNF. So he'll be wanting to put two together. And we had Hayden Stat as well suffer in the first moto and then come back for a good second one. And we've seen Hayden Stat also have a really good race in Switzerland too, didn't we?
Yeah, I was up close and personal for that one. I making a policy of watching the 125s up close at the GPs this year, because I'm not committed to do anything else. So if I manage my time, I can go and watch that one because I don't get trackside for the GPs. So I'm in front of a screen for those races. So yeah, I want to see some race action up close, and you can't get much better than the 125. So yeah, and Hayden rode fantastically well, moved forward through the pack in that first race on Saturday. And just such a great ride. I mean, that's exactly what you want. And he went across the line and he knew it. He sort of looked to the heavens, punched his fist, and yeah, that was a solid ride. He was 16th at the end of the opening lap. I've just got the lap charts up here. 16th at the end of lap one, and he worked his way forward to 7th place. And that's, he's passing Rafael Manillo, who was a world junior champion, factory Fantic rider Gennaro Utek. He really did keep it going. Utek was fastest in qualifying in Spain. So this is serious talent that Hayden's getting amongst, and it's great that Chambers have got the backing for him. Race two in the mud, it was a lottery, and sadly he didn't get the winning balls. But he didn't stop. He kept grinding out to the finish, which is the main thing that you want to see. So yeah, for me, I think Hayden's going to want to bounce back, and I think Preston Docks, he knows it well enough. It's in his territory. I think you might see a much different result to Hawkstone this weekend for Hayden Starr.
Yeah, for sure. And a couple of riders, Leo Wilson, he impressed me. Obviously, another DNF. Unfortunately, we had a lot of ones and zeros, or good results and zeros. Sorry, but Leo had a good fourth in one of the motos, so yeah, he could be one to watch. But there's quite a lot of riders to watch out for in the 125 class. So excited to see what comes to that one.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I mean,
big long list. You can keep going down. There's some
you
really
can keep on going. Yeah, Lucas Moncrief, Alfie Heron, Archie Butterfield, Christopher Brindley, Oakley Kettle, Colin Alley, Mason Jones, Finley Pickering was, had a disappointing Hawkstone. So, yeah, there's lots of riders that can get in amongst the mix. And it's almost as tough to call as MX2. But yeah, for sure, it's going to be exciting. And for two-stroke fans, get yourselves up there because, these bikes will be pushed to the limit. They'll be revving hard. And yeah, the sweet two-stroke smell will waft around the docks quite nicely in this one.
cool. Ollie Waters, another one in there that could
Yeah,
well get
yeah.
a good result there. Right. This is another one. Here we go. Another prediction. Do you know what? I
Yes.
think we're better at 125s than we are at the others.
Okay. I don't know how, but yeah,
Yeah. No pressure.
I'll take that. Okay.
Expecting big things from you, man.
Fifth, I'm going to go for Lucas Moncrief.
Okay. I'm going for Alfie Gidd's Green. Fifth.
Cool. Um, Fourth, I'm going to go with Vin Stanley Dawson.
Yeah. Same here.
Oh.
We could have the same top three,
Maybe. Don't know. I'm going to go for Alfie Geddes Green third.
Okay, maybe not then. Okay. I've gone for Harley Marzak in third.
Ooh. I've left Harley out. I'm really sorry, Harley. Second, I'm going to go 418. I'm going to go Drew Stock.
Okay, I think we got the same top two then, because I've got Drew in second as well.
And yeah, I can't see past Hayden.
Me neither. I get a vibe. Get a vibe. This is his chance to get back in the championship.
So our first, second, and fourth are the same.
Yeah. Could be
Okay.
interesting for points. Be a close one, that one.
Yeah, I mean, I got a feeling I'm going to regret leaving Harley Marjak out of it because this is a rider who I think is training to be a pro. He's training like a pro, and I think there's a lot of eyes on him. So yeah, I might live to regret that one. But I think Alfie Geddes Green is strong in the sand. I think it's his favourite surface, and I think if he's going to get a podium anywhere, it's going to be here. So that's why I've gone that way. Drew. My worry with Drew is that the wrist injury is going to be a bit too much, but he was able to get through Switzerland okay. So, yeah, I think a couple of seconds for Drew is going to be about the limit, but I'll be surprised if anyone beats Hayden. I'll put it that way, but we'll see.
And let's be fair, a couple of seconds because of the points difference between him and Hayden, which is 30.
Yeah.
A couple of seconds wouldn't be
I,
if he nursing the injury, like don't push it, don't make it worse. If Drew was to get a couple of seconds, it would not be a disaster at all.
yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, he's got a bit of a break now as well. Well, actually, no, he hasn't because he's got Sardinia and Trentino to come, and then there is a big break in the EMX 250 schedule. The next EMX race after Trentino on the 19th of April is Toisenthal at the end of May, 31st of May. So he's got a bit of a break there. All right, a couple of British rounds, but yeah, either way. Yeah, I think yeah, it's tricky, but we'll see if Drew can recover okay. I just hope that wrist is all right.
Cool. There we go. We've done it. We've got him out, mate.
Wow.
That was hard, wasn't it?
Don't shoot me.
So don't forget, if you do want to see Ben, he will be commentating at the Huck Cup and the Preston Docks.
Thanks, yeah. Shoot me down from my tower, yeah.
Yeah.
Sniper's delight. If you've got a rifle, an easy target. Yeah, no,
Or likewise, if you're happy with his predictions, he does like cakes and beer.
Yes, the bar might be visited at the end of the Huck Cup. We'll see, but yeah, got to get home and then back up to Preston Docks. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the microphone somewhere at Preston Docks. I think I'm going to be joining Roger Warren trackside. I might have a bit of a dabble on the live stream. They're basically leaving it a bit open for me this weekend. So yeah, Roger Warren's going to be on the mic. So of course, a great voice, and it'd be lovely to work with Roger again. And yeah, I think we've got a really nice weekend ahead of us at both races. And don't forget that Tollington race as well. If you're out there and you're looking for a nice clubman's event to go to, that Tollington track is superb. And a real loss, a real shame we're not seeing it again. Apparently, the club have got another venue lined up, which is great because they're a good organisation. But yeah, one last chance to ride Tollington. Get yourselves out there if you're thinking of a nice ride on Easter Monday. I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather ride than that track. I like even an old codger like me who hasn't ridden for some time. I'd love the Black Round Tollington. It's a beautiful looking place.
Yeah, fair play to the club. That's a big blow to them, but I'm sure they will bounce back. I was going to say, I'm going to be at Marshfield as well. So if you do want to heckle Ben, but you don't want to do it in person, just come and see me and I'll do it for you.
Oh no! Right, no one's going to heckle your predictions then.
No, you can heckle me as well. I don't mind. But
Yeah,
I
cool.
prefer it if you heckle Ben.
Nice one. Right, good stuff. So yeah, look forward to it. Hopefully see everybody out there. I'll wrap things up here. So thanks to everybody for tuning in to the All British Motocross Podcast. We'll do a podcast next week to break it all down from the British and the Huck Cup and everything else that's going on. The sidecars as well. If you're after some 3 or 4 wheel action, then yeah, get yourself down to the sidecars and the quad cross round as well. That's going to be interesting. Whereabouts is that? Sorry, Paul, you did say?
I think they've changed the venue, actually. I need to check that because I was going to put something about that, but I'm sure it's been a last minute change. And now I'm going to have to check.
I've given a hospital ball there.
Right, yeah, here we go. Cullum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's at Cullum this weekend. I think quads are one day. Right, let me find this info for you now. So sidecars are on Saturday, quads are on Sunday.
Nice. Cool.
And there's a lot going. This year is a big year for sidecar cross and quad cross because the quad cross championship the European quad cross championship has been elevated now to world championship. Sidecar cross, we were pretty awesome. We had some great Brits last year, and we've got a home GP for both of them this year as well at Canada Heights. So it's a huge year for
cool.
multi-wheelers.
Great stuff. Multi-wheelers. Damn, that's a good term, Paul. God, it's like you know what you're doing.
I know, isn't it? No, also, before we do that, mate, I'm just going to say, Pinball Wizards, we have got our Knockout Cup semi-final Skittles tonight. I feel like shit, but I've got to get through that first before I can focus to Marshfield. So
keep yourself fit for the Huck Cup. Come on. There's priorities here. You know what I mean? This isn't Skittles Hub. This is Dirt Hub.
Do you know what? You've just come up with a new website for me now. I don't need another one. Bloody hell!
I can see the brain working already. Right. Anyway, we'll let you go. So yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Really great to have you on board. Anyone want to sponsor this podcast, then give us a shout, please, because yeah, we'd love the support and we'll push any brand that comes our way. So yeah, all the best, and yeah, we'll speak to you next week. See you out there.